James Mahaffey, Atomic Accidents, A History of Nuclear Meltdowns and Disasters, from the Ozark Mountains to Fukushima. Welcome to the compelling journey of nuclear history in Atomic Accidents by James Mahaffey. In this summary, you will discover the thrilling story of radiation, its short-lived golden age as a purportedly healing phenomenon, and the significant accidents that contributed to the public's fear of radiation. As you navigate through the development of atomic bombs and their accidents, explore the catastrophic events at Chernobyl and Fukushima, as well as Admiral Hyman Rickover's influential design of nuclear submarines. The book addresses the importance of learning from past mistakes while seeking alternative methods for more efficient and safe nuclear technology.
Radiation's dark secret. Nikola Tesla inadvertently discovered radiation in the late 19th century, and soon after, Wilhelm Röntgen's research led to a deeper understanding of this phenomenon. The excitement around radiation led to profound medical breakthroughs, but the tragic health consequences of its pioneers were revealed too late. Radium therapy emerged as an effective cancer treatment, yet foolhardy entrepreneurs exploited radiation and caused harms that altered public perception. This marked the beginning of radiation's dark reputation that would deepen further with the advent of nuclear bombs. At the close of the 19th century, Nikola Tesla stumbled upon a discovery that would change the world: radiation. In 1896, Wilhelm Röntgen took this discovery further and published the first paper on radiation, which quickly captured the attention of scientists globally. Among those scientists, Marie and Pierre Curie discovered a radioactive element they named radium. Although this newfound substance spurred significant excitement, a grim reality lurked behind it: radiation held lethal potential. The researchers who paved the way for radiation's use were oblivious to its deadly effects. Many, including Tesla, Edison's assistant, and Pierre Curie, would endure the consequences of exposure to radiation in various degrees. As scientists began applying radiation in medicine, it became apparent that necessary precautions were crucial. Though X-ray machines proved useful diagnostically, technicians suffered leukemia and cataracts due to daily exposure. Nowadays, medical professionals take preventative measures to avoid excessive radiation contact. Despite its harrowing health risks, radiation offered remarkable advancements in medicine. Radium therapy, which involved exposing tumors to radium, emerged as a relatively successful cancer treatment. However, the notion of radiation's healing power seduced opportunistic entrepreneurs, resulting in tragedy. William Bailey created Radithor, a mixture of water and small amounts of radioactive material claiming to be medicine. This tonic gained popularity, but it soon led users to fall ill. Millionaire Eben McBurney Byers experienced bone-weakening effects so severe that his jaw crumbled away. These devastating incidents reshaped the public's perception of radiation, instilling fear that would intensify as research delved deeper into uses like nuclear weaponry. Atomic race of World War II. By the late 1930s, radiation's deadly potential was known, but building an atomic bomb was still seen as a way to end World War II with minimal casualties. The race between the United States and Germany involved brilliant scientists, such as Albert Einstein and Werner Heisenberg. Despite precautions, both sides experienced life-threatening accidents. The bombings in Japan unveiled the unexpectedly devastating power of nuclear weapons, a force that raised questions about its future containment and management. During the late 1930s, as the world was becoming aware of radiation's deadly capabilities, a race to build an atomic bomb commenced. Advocates believed that a bomb of this magnitude could bring a swift end to World War II, sparing countless lives. Despite the risks associated with the development of such a weapon, top-notch scientists, like Albert Einstein, were thrust into the fray. The United States competed fiercely with Germany, which had Werner Heisenberg, a Nobel Prize winner, leading its atomic program. Throughout the process, both countries suffered from tragic accidents due to insufficient safety measures. In the U.S., Harry Daghlian and Louis Alexander Slotin fell victim to fatal amounts of radiation while handling radioactive materials. In Germany, a fire claimed multiple lives as scientists attempted to trigger a nuclear reaction during a test. Ultimately, the United States achieved victory in creating the first atomic bomb. However, they were unprepared for the bomb's tremendous destructive capacity. When it was deployed in Japan, its overwhelming thermal energy caused every combustible object within a 12-mile radius to catch fire. The consequences proved significantly more devastating than the scientists' predictions. Approximately 83,000 Japanese citizens perished, with many succumbing to radiation-induced cancer in later years. The monumental event of World War II showcased the full potential of nuclear power's destructiveness. The resulting devastation left nations grappling with the question of how to control and harness this newfound power safely. Nuclear misfortunes, the untold stories. Contrary to popular belief, nuclear bombs are susceptible to accidents. Over 65 cases involving nuclear weapon incidents have been documented in the United States alone. Accidents such as dropped nuclear weapons or airplane crashes carrying nuclear warheads have raised concerns about the level of scrutiny and protection. Human error is often the catalyst for these accidents, such as dropping a bomb on a civilian home or a military aircraft crashing with nuclear cargo. Despite the potential for disaster, nuclear weapons are specifically designed to prevent a full-scale nuclear reaction. Engineers have incorporated safety measures to avoid unintended detonations, like activating multiple mechanisms only when necessary. While the majority of these accidents don't result in catastrophic explosions, they still leave hazardous radioactive materials behind. The takeaway from these incidents should be the importance of robust design and stringent safety protocols for preventing disasters, not only in nuclear weapons but in power plants as well. Chernobyl, nuclear missteps unraveled. In the 1970s, engineers were convinced that large-scale accidents could be avoided in nuclear power plants, but the 1986 Chernobyl disaster shattered this belief. A routine safety operation went awry due to the absence of personnel who had advanced knowledge of nuclear physics and insufficient training in implementing safety measures. Leadership flaws, particularly by physicist Anatoly Dyatlov, who directed staff to bypass emergency procedures, further worsened the situation. The disaster was partly fueled by the Soviet Union's secretive nature, leading to engineers operating in isolation and using outdated technology, such as the graphite-moderated light-water reactor model. Making matters worse, the Soviets initially concealed the meltdown, only releasing information in 1986. Radioactive matter from Chernobyl was carried by winds, impacting neighboring European countries and contaminating the environment. Despite the catastrophe, no similar nuclear disaster has occurred since, raising hopes that we've learned from this tragic experience. Fukushima disaster, unheeded warnings. Japan's Pacific coast was known for its major earthquakes, yet officials proceeded to build two nuclear power plants, Fukushima I and Fukushima II, in the perilous region. Despite scientists' warnings of a potential earthquake, the government and Tokyo Electric Power Company disregarded these concerns and did not enhance the coastal wall to protect the plants from tsunamis. The 2011 disaster ensued when the 46-feet-high tsunami and several aftershocks triggered a meltdown at the aged Fukushima I, built in the 1970s. In contrast, Fukushima II, constructed in the 1980s, had advanced technology that prevented catastrophe. Furthermore, human error contributed to the disaster, when an operator overrode a safety mechanism that monitored cooling in the power plant. This seemingly minor decision turned an already precarious situation into a full-blown disaster. Evolution of nuclear reactors. In the 1950s, Admiral Hyman Rickover designed a small-scale power plant for nuclear submarines that enjoyed outstanding efficiency and robustness. A testament to Rickover's innovation, similar designs are now used in almost all nuclear power plants. Despite several alternative concepts like the direct contact reactor, DCR, and molten salt reactor, none made it past the experimental stage due to market conditions and lack of investment. It's vital to continue exploring better nuclear energy production methods as technology improves to reduce potential nuclear disasters. Admiral Hyman Rickover's groundbreaking power plant design in the 1950s marked a significant turning point for the civil nuclear industry. Initially built for nuclear submarines, the reactor's efficiency and sturdiness resulted from Rickover's ingenious solutions to the challenges of submarine conditions. It generated more fuel than it burned and avoided using hazardous substances like liquid sodium. The success of Rickover's design influenced the civil nuclear industry, with most modern nuclear power plants incorporating some aspect of his concept. However, along the way, other promising designs were explored but ultimately sidelined due to financial constraints and prevailing market conditions. For instance, the direct contact reactor, DCR, aimed for ultimate efficiency with molten plutonium as its fuel source. By the 1960s, a prototype had been built in Los Alamos, but government budget cuts for experimental reactors ultimately doomed the project. Another intriguing alternative was the molten salt reactor, which used thorium, a more stable and less fissile radioactive metal. Remarkably, thorium's radioactive waste becomes harmless after 300 years, unlike uranium's waste, which remains dangerous for 30,000 years. Unfortunately, despite the potential of these alternatives, the Rickover reactor's dominance hindered further exploration of other methods. It's essential to keep investigating novel approaches to nuclear energy production as our knowledge improves and past errors serve as learning experiences. As technology progresses, we can take steps to minimize the likelihood of nuclear catastrophes and optimize the benefits of nuclear power.
As we conclude our journey of nuclear history in atomic accidents, it is evident that the potential dangers of radiation have long been underestimated. Having witnessed the accidents and tragedies from radiation exposure and early atomic bomb creations, nuclear energy's dangers are better understood today. While accidents in the nuclear industry have reduced in occurrence, new ventures like the molten salt reactor or direct contact reactor hint at the potential for improved nuclear energy production. Recognizing the importance of learning from earlier incidents and continuing to explore new methods can mark a significant shift towards a safer and more efficient nuclear energy future.